matter of hours. Our people scrambling to stores to buy bottled water. Lines were long at supermarkets and big box stores in Philadelphia and even South Jersey. A number of places sold out in a matter of hours. Our Madeline Wright spoke to some shoppers who left empty-handed.
Bottled water is in short supply at grocery stores across the city. We spotted bare shelves at Walmart on Christopher Columbus Boulevard, Target on Mifflin Street, and Acme on Snyder Avenue Sunday night.
We're trying to buy some water. This is the third place we looked at this tonight. Not anything available. So just make
Some people scrambling.
Shalom. Kohala Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakwadash. Double on their side, teachers, the apostles, and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopefully elect, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, teaching in truth, sincerity, and diligence for the sake of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Lord, when this lesson is edifying and straight to the point. Yeah, you pretty much, see the famine increasing here in the planet Earth. And ultimately, when it unfolds here in America, it's going to hit this place the hardest, man. Seeing that these Americans is not at all comfortable with going without. This is pretty much a convenient society, and everything is at your disposal here, to the point where a nigga can make a claim that he don't like eating leftovers, man. You see, but once this famine pretty much unfolds here in America, where the leftovers that you don't eat is what you're going to miss, man. You see, in fact, you're going to degrade to even consider eating grass and bushes and belts, and just like it did in the siege of Jerusalem, man. That's actually going to take place again here in the planet Earth. And ultimately here in America, where these things is going to unfold and hit the hardest, man. You see, and these people are not at all looking for this. So the reaction to the famine is going to be a nigga running down to the store to stockpile and panic buy. But everybody going to be doing that. So sudden fear is going to fall upon these people, just like you see here. The damn news reporter pretty much recording the chaos, man. Well, this is going to be a scene that's going to be on pretty much every TV and every major and minor city here in America, man. You see, and real quick, that just goes into the scriptures. 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, and verse 22, he said, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty." You see? And you having trucker strikes, Salakia, food shortages. The president of India just ordered a ban on the rice. So suddenly, these things is going to appear, man. The sown places is going to appear unsown because you're having people pretty much panic buy rice. You having people in these cities where the heat is intensifying, they panic buying water, But that's not going to sustain you, man, because ultimately that can run out. And then you're going to be left without. And then you're going to be consumed by the prophecies where the Lord tell you how friends should fight one against another like enemies. The neighbors should have no pity, amongst each other, but should spoil each other's houses for the lack of bread and for great tribulation. You're going to have, we say your foes should be there, your own household. So this famine is going to pretty much bring forth a lot of division, man. You see, verse 23, he say, "And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man hear it, they should be suddenly afraid." And this is pretty much that trumpet. These major news stations covering the chaos, going into the stores, recording the shelves being empty. And ultimately the prophets as well, because the prophets is ultimately blowing that trumpet, warning you that the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai is about to send forth a famine. It's all biblical prophecy, man. And just like the heading say, hey, start preparing. It's not a joke, man. This thing, when this shit approach the planet Earth and ultimately unfold here in America, you're going to know very well that this ain't no joke, man. When that fear fall upon you, when you don't know where your next meal going to come from, you're going to know this ain't a joke, man. You're going to be wondering, is the food really dried up? He's saying when the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man hear it, they shall be suddenly afraid. See, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, because you're going to have a thing such as the haves and the have-nots, man. You're going to have people that have the resources, You're going to have the people that's going to be without the resources, and the people that don't have resources is going to be planning on those who got it, man. Whether it's your friend or your family members or your neighbor. It's not going to matter at that point, man. Because it's all going to be about survival. You see, he say, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs and the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run, man. You see? So these things is pretty much going to unfold, and they are unfolding now, man. You know, and it's just an article from CBC News, you know, that it was posted July 25th, 2023. It says India's rice export ban leads to stockpiling in Canada and around the world. You see, this is a global event, but it's ultimately going to unfold, and it's going to hit America the hardest, man, because these people here in America are not used to going without, but they're going to get real familiar with the terms callbacks and shortages. You know, we don't have, we ran out, you know, we haven't restocked yet. You're going to get very familiar with those terms, man. You see, to the point where your norm is going to change. You're going to get used to not having things, man. Scriptures tell you how you're going to be perplexed. You know, and that's going to the word perplexed is to be without resources. You know, and that's anything. That's food, water, medicine, you know, anything. You see? But just to show you a video pertaining to the rice being banned, because it's going down in America right now. But you see, niggas buying up all the rice. You see, but this is the condition, the mindset, the mannerism of these Americans, man. You see, and when the famine pretty much approached them, their reaction is going to be to run down to the stores and try to buy everything up. And that's going to be a door opener for the evils to increase. Because like I said, you're going to have the haves and the have-nots. And those who have not, they're not going to give a fuck about the lives of them who have it, man. Evils is going to increase here on the planet Earth. And ultimately, it goes back to biblical prophecy, man. You see, this the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord, you see. And this is prophecy that's unfolding, because the Lord called for a famine, and everything that the Lord has spoken is going to come to pass, man. The Bible is a living document. You see, he's saying, cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. You see, and who is that incredulity, man? You know, pretty much the unbelief. Those who don't believe in the testimony of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. You see, they don't believe a famine is coming. They don't believe a famine can consume America. You know, a nigga make the claim of this is the most wealthiest country in the world. Well, the wealthiest country in the world is about to suffer a famine, man. Thus said the Lord. You see, he said, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. And what's going to solidify your death? You not believing, man. You see, it's going to ultimately lead you to the role of death. Because if you don't believe in the testimony of Yahweh Shai, well, your destiny is going to be for you to be consumed real quick by the things that the Lord spoke of. This Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse let's see. Jeremiah 15. And start at verse 15. Jeremiah 14 and verse 15. He said, therefore, thus said the Lord concerning the prophets that prophesy in my name, I sent them not, yet they say, sword and famine shall not be in this land. By sword and famine shall those prophets be consumed. You see, and the people to whom they prophesy shall be cast out in the streets of Jerusalem because of the famine and the sword, and they shall have none to bury them, their wives, nor their sons, nor their daughters, for I will pour out their wickedness upon them, man. You see? So not only are you going to be consumed by the famine, but those who prophesied it and said that the famine wasn't going to come, man. Those who didn't warn of a famine. You see? And also those who follow in that doctrine, who follow in who cleave to that idea of these things can't come to America. Well, that's going to be the same thing that's going to kill you, man. You know, all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. You see? Back to 2 Ezra 15 and verse 5. He said, behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world through sword, famine, death, and destruction. And if I may say, this is what separates Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah from the other gods on the planet Earth, man. The Lord he speak it, and it actually comes to pass, man. Prophecy is what separates the Lord. The Lord, Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, the God of the Bible, warns you of the famine, man. Warns you of America being consumed by a major famine. He warns you through his prophets. Scriptures tell you how the Lord revealed his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. So the prophets receive the secrets and they come and convey it to the people. You know, and it's on you to believe because you heard the trumpet. And if you didn't take heed to the trumpet, well, look, your blood gonna be upon your own head, man. You know, but the Lord said that he's gonna bring these. The Lord is the one that's gonna orchestrate this famine. That's why we come and behoove you so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Indians to repent and return to the Lord because you the biblical Israelites, whether you like it, believe it, want to receive it or not, man. And your refusal to receive it is going to cause death to erupt in your life. Yeah, all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. You see, he said, for wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, thus said the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. So this is going to be the way of the Lord can bend the pride and arrogance of you people here in this land. He's going to send forth the sword, famine, death, and destruction, man. In which that sword, ultimately being Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is going to pretty much cause the famine. The Lord is going to use him to bring forth this famine. And through the famine, death and destruction is going to erupt, man. You know, it's like an all-in-one. But he said, behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually through these epistles, man. We cry unto the Lord when we go out to the street corners of the abominations that's done here in America. You know, and that's the only way to be cleared, man. It's to do the work of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and come out and warn the people, learn the prophecies and warn the people. It's the only way to be cleared. If you're not doing the work, well, look, you're going to get consumed when the prophecies pretty much start to showcase themselves in the earth, in which they already is. But when it gets to a level of intense, you know, it's intensified, you're going to be consumed, man. You know, just to scroll down, verse 15, he said, for the sword and destruction draweth nigh, and one people should stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, for there should be sedition amongst men, and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes, and the courses of their actions should stand in their power. You see, he say a man should desire to go into a city and shall not be able because of the chaos, man. Niggas is going to be trying to flee to different cities. You know, niggas going to be trying to leave Birmingham to flee to Fairfield or flee to Centerpoint or even flee towards Leeds, Homewood or Hewittstown. He's not going to be able to, man. You know, he said, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. This is going to be the vibration that's going to take hold of the planet Earth. Ultimately, the family can open all that up for that to happen, man. He said, man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. That's the point. But shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. So this is what you're facing when you see things about the famine intensifying, man. This is what's about to unfold. You see, the famine is a door opener for evils to increase on the planet Earth. Cannibalism, kidnappings, you know, the mannerism of you people is going to take a sharp turn to the left, man, because of the lack of food, because you finna enter into a new norm. You know, and if you don't have Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, well, you're going to be consumed because those who have the Lord Well, the Lord tell you that he said that how his servants was going to eat, man. The Lord is going to make a way for those who were serving him and seeking him early to eat, man. You see real quick. This Psalms chapter 37 and verse 19. He said they should be ashamed. They should not be ashamed in the evil time and in the days of famine. They should be satisfied. You see, niggas out here losing weight. Nigga went from 300 pounds to 95 pounds where you somehow gaining weight. They remember you being skinny, but it's a famine. Now your cheeks getting big, your stomach poking out now, man. And it's not because you starving. It's because you full, man. You know, people are going to see how the Lord is going to feed the people who trusted in him. And they're going to see how Esau is going to feed them for trusting in him, man. Because when you trust in Esau, it's still going to be a scarcity of food. You still going to be eating lab-grown meat. But those who trust in Yahweh Shema Shai, no telling how the Lord is going to feed us, man. You know, you getting raw minerals. Your body is getting the minerals that it need even in the famine. You see? Hey, but this is why we bank on Yahweh Shema Shai, because ultimately he's going to keep us alive in the famine. Lord willing, we are that number, man. You see? While everybody else on the outskirts is going to be getting consumed and destroyed, scriptures tell you how it be many of them that perish of the famine. You know, but I just wanted to speak on it through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, Lord willing. It was edifying to the elect, to those seeking salvation, our Lord Yahweh Shai. As always, giving all the glory and praise to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rahakwadash, Lord, wins in this video. Shalom.